proposed legislation in the Florida House of Representatives would, if passed, allow victims of sexual abuse more time to pursue their cases through the court system.
We told you about this proposal on Monday, and tonight State Representative Michael Gottlieb, the bill's sponsor, joins us. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So how would this impact, I realize it's still in its beginning stages, but how would this impact existing law?
So the existing law was amended in 2010, giving survivors the opportunity to sue up until the age of 55, but those survivors would have had to have been under the age of 16 at the time they were abused. My proposal, and it's not what's in the bill now, the more I learn about it, I've learned that other states, 19 to 20 states, have undertaken legislation similar to this, and Vermont, I believe, has allowed anybody at any age to sue at any point in time. And I think that as we see more states doing it, we need to be more progressive here in Florida. So I'd like to extend it to anybody at any age to sue, so that they can be made whole for what has happened to them.
And you're also looking for a one-year period, or during that 1 year they can do it. Explain that.
So, for instance, right now, certain claims are dead. The 2010 statute, I think, was a great step in the right direction, but certain offenses you cannot address at this point in time. So one of the ideas that we've had is to carve out just a one-year opportunity to revive those dead claims.
So you are a lawyer by trade, so what led you to want to work on this particular bill?
I'm actually a criminal defense lawyer, and I've been a criminal defense lawyer for 25 years. So I've seen people who are victims, who are survivors in the court system. But really what happened was I have a great relationship with prosecutors, and a prosecutor brought me this bill. She stopped being a prosecutor and started bringing these cases as a plaintiff's attorney, and she moved to New York, and she saw that their statute does greater justice for survivors in New York than the Florida statute does, and it was brought to me by her.
Well, if you're a criminal defense attorney, you know that in order to get a conviction, you need evidence. You have to convince a jury that this person is guilty, and if you're going so far back, do you have evidence to prove those cases, or are we just giving people false hope?
Well, I think that's an interesting question, and obviously the age of the case helps both the perpetrator and the victim. You know, in cases such as this, there's witnesses, there's still sometimes evidence. It's going to be problematic. It's not necessarily just the opportunity of having them win the case. These people suffer great lengths, and it's an opportunity to have your voice heard at a place where you feel safe to be able to bring this kind of a case.
So the question is, do you think this bill is going to get traction in Tallahassee? What do you think are the chances?
The bill is a victims' rights bill. It's a, you know, we saw Marcy's Law last year, so I think the state is guided towards assisting and helping victims. So I would certainly hope so.
What would you say to those who say, well, this is just going to clog up the court system with more cases?
I think we should be concerned with justice, not concerned with clogging the court system.
And have you heard from victims' rights groups about this?
Numerous groups have reached out to me. Numerous individual victims have reached out to me and said thank you for bringing forward this important piece of legislation.
What about the right to a speedy trial for the accused?
Well, this is not a criminal bill, so it's not going to affect the criminal statute of limitations is unaffected. This is in the civil arena only to help individuals have their voice heard. In many instances, the criminal statute of limitations will have expired. There won't be an opportunity to have a person prosecuted.
Okay, Michael Gottlieb, thank you very much. We will continue following this, of course, because as you mentioned, many states have already done what you're trying to do here in Florida.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.